are listening to a High Standard production.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Geeks podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces in the building, and this is One-on-One with Deuces, where we speak with the content creators, pushers, and people that you should know. And right now, man, I'm speaking with somebody that I'm truly a fan of, a multi-talented, very dope, very sexy. We are speaking with Cynthia Luciette. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Man, you know, blessed and highly favored, trying to make things happen within this COVID. How's COVID been treating you?
You know what? I can't complain. I've actually been pretty productive. So I found ways, to actually, dare I say, be more productive and like actually use the resources that are around me, and be like, let me actually get more shit done. How about you?
Same. Well, no, you know what? It's actually been very fruitful for me and my podcast because so prior to this, we was just a podcast. We was doing articles. We was doing like interviews at conventions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we had these ideas and aspirations that we wanted to try that we just never really pulled the trigger on. So then when COVID hit, I was like, all right, you know what? Let's go ahead and try this. So like these one-on-one interviews, like that I've been doing, started during COVID. It was an idea that I've been had. And I was like, let's go ahead and try it. And then we launched our Twitch. We started doing more articles. We was like, all right, we started building this studio. And so like things start progressively like growing during the COVID. And that's what I realized is that when you are a creator and when a lot of your creation comes from in your space, like this time, even though you're not able to get out and be social, it allowed you to just really buckle down and try stuff. We launched our Patreon and I was like, oh shit.
Right. I was gonna say, I'm like, let's not mentally, like it has been hard as fuck, like being confined to one space. So I'm not gonna act like shit's all like this is the best shit ever. But I'm proud of myself, I'll put it that way, and how I didn't just get, I shook off. Sometimes I get stir crazy though. Like I just be like, oh my God, like where the fuck can I go?
Right.
Where can you, but some people watching this like, what did you talk about, bitch? I was at 3 parties last night. Not everybody staying in the house. So
I swear I like that there was a post that somebody made a while back and it was like the pandemic isn't over just because you are over it. And I'm like, fam, because I felt like me and my people, we the only one quarantined. And I'm like, damn, people taking these flights. And I'm like, I want to get out there. I want to do that shit. But it's like, I don't trust it yet. Have you tried?
I don't trust it yet. I have, I had to travel a couple of times for work. And I was like afraid, and it was like, it gave me anxiety, and thank God, nothing happened and I'm healthy. But this was later on. This is like recently, I did venture out, but that was just like the anxiety levels that come with just being out and about right now. I just don't think anything's worth it. Like people's asking me to do stand-up shows and shit. I'm like, I don't want to be in no crowded venue like that for the rest of 2021. Like,
no, definitely. I have you done a lot of virtual ones? Because I know the virtual joint's been popping.
No, I don't like that. It's weird to me. That's not my thing. Cause I'm like just getting into more of stand-up from online shit.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, we're doing online stand-up. I'm like, that's just all the shit we've been doing online. Y'all are just calling it.
That is true.
Y'all are going live? Okay. It's like,
well, some people are creating dope venues and aspects of doing it, like what Kev is doing with his Keep Your Distance.
That's
like,
dope.
That's pretty dope because you still have that crowd. Yeah, you still have that crowd. You just got to go to the set, and that's what I learned watching a lot of the comedians who have to be doing the online content now, and then just hearing them talk about how important that crowd is. Like, it's like, you don't really understand it until you start hearing them talk about it, because it's like you tell that joke and you get fuel off of that ha ha ha, somebody like going crazy. So not being able to have that, I can see how that can mess with your show.
Yeah. I mean, to me, because like I said, I'm more so just getting into stand-up. Yeah. I'm afraid of the fucking crowd. So I'd rather tell jokes to a room.
To the room.
So I'm like, I'm getting over the fear of the crowd, but it is that weird addicting feeling of like, God, because there's so much adrenaline that goes through your body when you have to be up, and not only in front of the crowd, but in front of your other peers and other people who was like, okay, this bitch is funny, you know, when she's recorded, but oh, okay, can she do it live? Like, you know, so it's a lot of adrenaline that goes to your body, so it's fun as hell. And
now,
I've had really, oh, go ahead.
No, keep on.
I've had really good nights where I've been like, oh my God, I didn't even know that I was that funny, and I didn't even know that I could make people laugh like that. And then I've had nights where I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I said, where did I go wrong? Like, bitch, you just like, afterwards, after you don't do good on stage, walking around afterwards, just not even fun. Like, it's not fun. You don't want to. You don't want to talk to the other comedians who killed it. Like, fuck y'all, but good job, but fuck y'all. But damn, I want to go home.
Right. That's the same thing. Like I do music before I started this podcast, and that's the same thing. Once you bomb, you like, I don't want to stick around. I just want to go to the crib.
I don't want to go.
Maybe smoke something or something. Like do something.
Right.
Get your mind off of that night. Now, do you have anybody like giving you like? I know like a lot of people who come from the online and then go to the stage, they always have a few people that they can rely on to kind of help them out, give them pointers. Is there anybody that you're like giving you good words of advice or giving you some tips and tricks, or are you just taking it cold turkey?
Niggas, you know, I should give you a list of niggas that I called and they all gave me the same fucking advice. You funny, you got it.
That's not helpful at all.
Tell them. You know, so that's mostly what I've gotten, actually. I think a lot of stand-up comedians weren't really welcome to people who, even though I didn't even see myself as being like, oh, I'm this person online doing this comedy. I just like doing shit. But I was always around stand-up comedians because those are my friends. And then a lot of them were writers, so they were in the same writer rooms as me and stuff like that. So the world just started to blend. But I don't think a lot of stand-up comedians, not me, weren't welcoming to me, but weren't welcoming to online people who had numbers now coming to do this. Because even some people I know, it's like, bitch, you're starting to post flyers now to your audience, which is bigger than mine, but I've been doing stand-up for this long, and I'm funnier than you on stage because I've been doing it for 8 years. Like, all right, sorry, but niggas want to hear me talk, so fuck it. You know, I gotta do what I gotta do. But I would say Darren, on the positive side, Darren Brand, Big Baby, he took me out, like, as soon as I told him, like, I wanted to do shows and shit, you know, he didn't even look at my set, which I did not have one, and he just, so I'm happy he didn't ask, like, let me see what you got. Right. He just was like, for sure, and he threw me on, you know, like 5 or 6 shows right before COVID had hit. That was cool. Sidney Castillo, he's another one. Precious Hall, who I do stuff with, like, so, you know, my friends, they more so help me out by giving me opportunities on their shows or platforms that they already have. You know, that's kind of how they help me.
You know what's funny is like, so like one thing that I always do is I make sure we give people their flowers while they're here and let them know. I can't recall when I first got introduced to you, but one of the things that I realized, and so like just watching a lot of the videos that you are in and just paying attention to the content that you're in, and then also seeing the comments, I was like, yo, Cynthia Luciette can act. And this is where this is where I go to it, because like no matter who you, because like who you do a video with, people automatically like, oh yeah, they fucking that's what people say, right? But when I was watching, I'm like, nah, she's just selling it that well. Like you just like, you sell like every.
Well, I mean, I fucked a couple of people. Let's not no.
But like you sell
I do feel you though. People do say that. They say that with everything. More so they look at it like, they be like, you have so much chemistry with this person. That's what everybody has their favorite person that I do videos with, and everybody's always like, you have so much chemistry, and I'm like, at some point I gotta realize it's me.
No, I realized it's you, and because this is where I realized it was you, and like much respect to your pen, your writing skills, because I was like, there's no way that all of these people are writing Cynthia this way, because like what you bring to it, your comedic timing, the way that you say things, like I always give props to Rome, because I'm like, the way his rate of comedy. And there was that one y'all was doing like a whole bunch together. But the one video that I was talking about when he was trying to get his basketball shorts back, and I was like, bro, this is gold, because y'all was just right with each other, back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, and all the videos that y'all did, I thought was super dope just because of how that went. And I was like, that's not everybody writing that way. Cynthia definitely had her hand in that script.
Yeah, for sure. Well, with those ones with entertainment, they would write out, like the script of like what they would want to happen and stuff, but then they would just let me go and be like, go ahead, improv, we know the beats of where we want to take it. Like, okay, you're coming over to get your shorts back. At some point we're going to go and the shorts here and the thing. But, as far as like the dialogue and stuff, that's just a lot of improv. That's just us just being like, fuck, it's just, that. And those are the actors and people that I enjoy working with the most. People who really can just like be funny and make a script come to life. Because even as much as I write, like I could write some really funny shit, but I saw you interview CP, somebody like that, where it's like you give them the beats of it, they're gonna improv and take it a step further. You be like, damn, I can't write a character. I like working with people who are really good at that.
Right. So cliche question number one. Now, I told you we're gonna get a few cliche questions in, but I was trying to get and figure out where your start, or where what got you into doing this online stuff. Because I know I saw that you were a kid caster, so you did some stuff for WROC and TVA, right. But then you when also did. Yeah, like when you were like 8, and then but you also did some web series. So I guess where did the passion come from for you?
Well, when I was 8, that definitely was not me trying to be in entertainment. That was just a competition that they had in Rochester, and the winner got Harlem Globetrotter tickets for their family. So I just went to the mall and won that competition because I wanted to get tickets. So that was just that. It didn't have shit to do with entertainment. Then cut to 10 years later, and when I was 18, that's when I was like, I really want to be in entertainment to some capacity. It's stupid, my story of this isn't the starting point, but one day I remember was when I was reading a magazine, because I just like magazines. So I was reading a Chris Brown interview because I love Chris Brown. I was obsessed with him. So I'm reading his interview and I just liked the way he thought and looked at the world. And I was like, I think I need to be around people who are entertainment and in whatever the fuck he was in. I had no idea what the entertainment industry consisted of. Right. Of course, I came in there with that glazed over, thing that we all have, and we think we're getting into it. It is what it's gonna be, like this big red carpet, and then you get and you see a red carpet, and it's like this big, and it's shitty, and it's dirty, and it's bums peeing on the other side. It's like, anyways. So I just knew I wanted to be around people who thought bigger and were more open-minded and wanted to be something else than everybody else I saw around me in Rochester. No shade to Rochester. I love, Rochester, but everybody was kind of doing the same shit. And I'm like, I want to be out and just be around people who are doing shit. And so then I saw that they were 7,000 people move to LA a day to become actors and actresses. And I was like, I don't love acting that much, so let me get into hosting. And then hosting led me to this company that was doing online work. So I got into online shit from a company, actually, not even how most Vine stars or people did. I didn't even know that people was out here getting money from it. So yeah, it's a journey. It's a long ass fucking journey.
But you're really good at hosting, that right there, because that's what matter of fact, that may have been how I got first introduced to you, is seeing the hosting, then seeing you in videos oh shit, she funny as hell. I think that was one of those pleasant surprises, because it was you were so good at hosting where I could see if somebody only knew you from your hosting videos, they would think, oh yeah, she's probably going to be, extra, she's gonna be in all these extra the big names, whatever, Entertainment Weekly, she's gonna be in the big names just doing hosting, not realizing that you have this whole multi-talented platform. Because I said, prior to seeing your videos and then just kind of taking that realization of, okay, this is Cynthia's putting her imprint on it, I didn't notice that you one, wrote as much as you did, also wanted to start a production company, because that's what said one of your aspirations, or that you're working towards, right?
And let me say something, because I think people feel that way because I'm a girl, and I think they assume whenever I'm in videos with guys are the ones coming up with the ideas, writing out everything, responsible for this, when it's Nah, some of the shit I wrote,
Oh
I
yeah.
hired the crew for, I had to
Mhm.
direct, you know, and I'm not saying you specifically felt this way,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Kobe,
yeah.
you feel like, but I'm just saying, like, people, you thought a bitch couldn't do it. Like, no, I'm not coming at you, but I'm just saying,
Right.
I think in general, that's how most people see females, especially when they're always working with guys
Mhm.
or working with the same guys all the time, you know. And that is how it is most of the time. I can't lie. Most of the people and girls you see on Instagram, they're, you know,
You can
a
tell
lot.
which ones. That's the
You
thing.
can tell.
I
You
feel like
can.
it's very easily to be able to like, okay, yeah, this person definitely, like, you can tell who wrote it, especially when it comes down to like some, even with the banter or like the perspective of a woman. So like one of the things that I always try to tell people just in life, like, fam, if you're going to do something with another either race or another gender or another community involved, you need to have somebody of that community on that, but like on the behind the scenes. Otherwise, it's going to be tone deaf. You're going to hear just one version of it, and that's why you can tell. It's like, you know, when you have your writing input on it, it's like, okay, yep, this part was definitely written by the guy. This part was written by the woman. But then but even with the flow, like once it flows well, like, oh, they work together. Like it wasn't just a one person thing. And I think that is where I was able to differentiate, like, okay, yep, I can tell this. And like I said, that's why we try to make sure also that we champion the ones that are actually doing that, because that is dope. Like you said, there's not that many that are writing, but or that's known for writing. So if we can get it out there as much as possible, that's a win-win, because you guys need to be highlighted for sure. Okay,
So what's this? Oh, go ahead. You have more questions?
No, you had a question?
I was just say, what's the geek shit you be talking about?
Man, so I was going to ask you, I mean, we talk about everything from movies to anime to video games, comic books, and everything. Are you into any geeky shit?
No, I'm kidding. Some stuff, I mean, the geekiest shit to me is like, and when I have to edit, I feel like such a nerd because I have to learn all of this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening with my computer? And then I feel like, oh my God. So I've had to learn terms and just how to do certain shit. So that to me is like the geekiest shit. I'm watching Umbrella Academy right now. I feel like that's pretty geeky.
I can see you on Umbrella Academy. I can see something, because this is one thing that I would like to see from you, and that I've been thinking about, because like we see a lot of your videos and it's comedic and everything, but I feel like you can do a serious role.
For sure. I would for sure love to. I want to write it though. You know, that's probably how I would end up doing it. I'd probably end up writing this shit and be like, I'm not gonna play this. I'm just gonna write it. And then the shit probably end up coming out so sweet. I'd be like, I don't see nobody else.
Yeah.
I just don't see nobody else do. I gotta play it. That's probably how I would end up doing it.
Well, that's who I forgot who I was. I was talking to Carl Jones, and he used to work on the Boondocks, and he helped put together the Boondocks, and he did a voice of there was a character on the Boondocks called Thugnificent, and that's kind of how he got it. He had wrote it specifically for somebody, but then like in the table read, he was reading it, and it was like, fam, this is kind of you, so you might as well take it. Like that's probably how it probably end up going with you. It's just like you'll probably be writing something and then, you know, trying to describe it in that table read, and then depending on who you're working with, they probably like, hey, we might as well give it to you.
I know, and I don't hate it because I mean it's good for me, but there have been certain things where it's like even just stuff that we're pitching and that it's like I'll be writing it out for somebody, and then I get to the point where I'm like, damn, I kind of really want to play this character, and then they get to the point of like, you should probably play this character, but I'm like, I don't want to be the first one because I'm writing this for you, and I don't want to be like, I'm putting myself in it,
right?
Like, I'm not, but I can really see me. Like, but this is your shit. So at the end of the day,
so I'm just trying to say, I mean, you know,
it's still your shit. It's still your shit. How you gonna tell the writer no? Like, no, bitch, actually you can't. Then it'd be like, all right, I mean, but you can, you know.
Is there anything out there that you saw that you was like, damn, I wish I wrote that, or you like, I could have wrote that?
Is there anything that I saw? Nothing really in particular. It'd be like bits and pieces of inspiration because I really don't even like my brain absorbing too much of other people's dopeness, because then I'll be like, I want to create my own. And it's like, you got to be careful what you're putting in there because you'll accidentally do shit and like recreate what you're feeding yourself. So if I see something, I'll be like, oh, I really like how they shot this, or oh, I really like how they did this. But I try not to get too fan of like things, because then I'll be like, you know, I don't know. I just feel like I'll end up accidentally making the shit, and I'll be like, I don't want to do that. And I think people do that sometimes. They watch so much of shit, and that's why we keep getting the same things, because creators stop. You know, like you gotta take time away and create your own stuff. But if you're filling your mind with everybody else's stuff, then what you're gonna put out is gonna, I feel like, be too much of that, and then we get the same shit over and over and over again.
That's what a lot of artists say they do. Like when they're in album mode, they don't listen to like other artists, so that way they don't accidentally copy or subconsciously like do somebody's style and shit. So it's like I can see that approach from a writer, because you got so much stuff and so many ideas, and a theme may come in place, and you may forget that you watched that theme somewhere or something. So like that's where that can come from. Are you working on anything? Is there any things that you're writing on?
Yeah, there is.
Anything you can share, or is there
no? Because the thing is, the thing is about writing this shit really be taking hella fucking long.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time you write it, the shit gets cast and made and edited and scheduled to come out. It's like shit really takes forever. Like it just is like, goddamn. But yeah, you know, I'd say like people who are creators of the internet content and stuff like that, they're getting opportunities to work with bigger companies, and I'm kind of like, you know, just in the mix of helping that bridge between that world, because I don't think a lot of content creators, like we've seen, you know, people who are on Instagram or YouTube or whatever get these Netflix deals to make movies, get these, you know, opportunities to make shows and shit, and I just don't think it's like to the level of good shit. It's just still too internety, you know. And so the shit I write, it's like I know how to write shit for the internet, and that's where it come from, but I don't, you know, you gotta get out that internet mindset when you're doing other things. So I'm excited to see more content creators who are internet stars get opportunities and actually like deliver and make some culture changing shit, not just like, oh, you see a whole bunch of influencers in a thing, in a movie or a show or whatever, but that shit is here and gone because it wasn't a good premise, the acting was fucking terrible. It's like, no. So that's kind of what I'm, I guess, being involved in.
It kind of sound like you the plug. That's what you're saying. You the plug. you getting people in, like, you know.
Well, they're in
Cynthia Blanco.
I would say it's more so like the bigger internet people, you know, are getting in, and they're just realizing my talent, helping bring the good shit through, you know.
So are you trying? So can you let us know? Is it movies? Is it series that you're working on?
I don't want to say that because it's, you know, it's their shit that I'm working on.
I ain't gonna pull.
If it was my shit, if it was just my shit, I'd be like, here, I don't give a fuck, you know. But don't be like, bitch. But for me personally, what I'm working on, other than like working on stuff just online, what I'm working on is even making my own productions of premium content. You know, anybody who's been in the internet game for a minute is like, we're all at the level of being able to put out actual shit and compete with the bigger companies. So I'm constantly thinking of things and working on some shit that I could shoot for my damn self. But
hey, I want to talk to you today about geeksetpodcast.com, the only place that blends hip-hop culture and geek culture together in one place, and the only place to get your official Geek Set swag. Go to our shop and view our wide selection that we offer, from the No Dubs collection, Big Bit Tees, Talking That Geek-ish, and more. Today, use code Deuces during checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. Then, take a picture and post it on Instagram using the hashtag GeekSet for a chance to be featured on our page and a chance to win extra deals in the future. So don't hesitate. Drop by the website today. Listen to our latest episode, watch our latest videos, read our latest reviews, and shop with your favorite geeks. GeekSetPodcast.com.
Do you have like a umbrella or production company, or like? I guess when I was looking, I couldn't find it. I know you were saying that you were starting a production company and working on that, but I couldn't find the official name.
I haven't decided on a name yet, and like
Okay.
I've been doing these projects, but I haven't put it under a specific name. So even when I'm like producing stuff for other online
Yeah.
companies and making stuff for them, I'm like, damn man, I just have to get it started and get it going.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I want to do it at a time where I feel like it's going to flourish so
Ah,
well, and I'm
okay.
like, that time is like you just we don't even live in that day and age. We live in the day and age of starting it and building it. We don't live in the day and age of like, unless you're at the
Right.
level where it's like you already got, a $10 million budget to fucking make your own movie or do whatever. You just gonna be grinding to start your production company and shit. Cause when I see, like, for instance, Kevin Hart is what I mean. It's like when
Mhm.
I don't know at what time he started his production, but by the time we really saw it and
Yeah.
what it was, like, their productions and stuff, it's like,
Yeah.
god damn, it's so huge and so big. And that's like that for so many celebrities. Once you get to a
Right.
certain point and you start your production company, you can like immediately start producing big ass
Yeah.
things.
Nah, that'd be dope. Like I said, like I'm calling it now. Like once you launch it, I feel like great things are gonna happen because then you'll have your imprint, then like you'll have everything under it, and then people can truly like centralize, see the work that you're doing. Because like I said,
Mm-hmm.
you know, unless you are somebody who looks at it from a different perspective, then yeah, they're like, oh yeah, Cynthia Luciette, she's dope, she's talent, but it's like, nah, she's more than talent, she's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you guys are not seeing it because you're not aware of it. And I think that some of that comes with just being able to have a centralized location and when. So that's why, like, I like I told you, I'm a fan. So it's like I'm looking forward to seeing that, looking forward to seeing your name on the big screen because I'm one of those people that I champion people. Like once I become a fan of somebody's, like any type of win they get, I'm geeked up. So you know what I'm saying? If I see you come across an I'm like, oh nigga, that's Cynthia right there, nigga. You're like, you know
We
what I'm
need
saying?
more people like that.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people that's not like that, but like I'm looking at it
Mm-hmm.
from the overall fight. I'm like, listen, we all grinding and trying to get there, and like you see, once somebody gets in and they got dope energy, they gonna reach back and they gonna help out other people. And I think that that's what it is. When I got the chance to interview Kev, like he was like, I did it because I know that if I do it, there's some people that be like, well, shit, if Kev did it, I'm gonna do it too because I rock with
Mm-hmm.
Kev. And I was like, to me, that's dope. That's like like that didn't take anything. He didn't have to throw no money at me or anything. Like he did. Like all his presence was just enough to
Mm-hmm.
help streamline some other interviews. And like it's certain things like that, those small things, those small helps that people give that people forget to appreciate. Like it doesn't always have to be an immediate, hey, put me on. Like, I don't have to be on your platform, but if I'm building something, if you can lend a hand some way,
Mm-hmm.
but I was telling my podcast people, I was like, it's funny, like the certain people that I get when I do the interviews and I put up the flyer, like the response that I get, right? So it's like there was certain people that I did probably there was probably like 3 interviews that I did that people was like, oh shit, Zinga, you on right now. Cause it was Kev when I did Kev.
Mm-hmm.
People was like that when I did Van Lathan. People was like that. And then when I posted you don't the amount of dudes that was like, hey bro, like you gotta like go ahead and let her know that I'm I was like, man, people fuck with you like heavy. Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
dope. I really be trying to chill, because I like this world of entertainment and everything. It can suck you in
Yeah.
so much that it's just like I've gone through so many different phases that I didn't even realize were phases, and now I'm at the most peaceful one, and that's how I know everything
Oh,
I
that's
want is
dope.
about to happen because it's like, oh shit, like I'm solid, like my inside, like everything that I know is coming and everything that you have to go through and the people and the
Yeah.
snakes and or even the good shit and the attention and the resources and the money and the fame of it and this and that,
Yeah.
everything that gets offered to you, you got to take, you just got
Yeah.
to take that shit in stride. And some people let it get to their head, or some people don't. It's like you got to believe your hype at some point, or else everybody gonna treat you like shit and you're never gonna get what you're worth. But
Right.
then you also can't be too much of a so I just feel really balanced. I feel really
Yeah.
good, and I'm happy that people are responding to that.
You seem like an energy person. Like you're like you feed off of energy and vibes and stuff like that. Like I think that's what helps like moves you to like what you're going to choose, like based off of energy and shit, right?
Yeah, which is like hard because when it's a lot of negative energy that's around because it's such a competitive ass place for one. And people are just mad and angry and tired, and everybody feels like they should be at the top of whatever the fuck. And it comes from guys. Like, that's what throws me off the most is it's like a lot of guys in the industry are girlier than the girls. And most of the girls that I have to encounter in the industry be tough, be thorough, be acting like dudes. Like, we gotta have thick skin and we gotta be like, what up? Like, we always around guys. We always kicking it at late hours. So we gotta, be appropriate and be, kicking it. So, but then the guys, a lot of them are so, like, I'm like, dang, I'm still a girl though. Like, you'll really push a girl under the bus to get in the spotlight and get in the limelight. And they forget that they're men. And like, not that I'm putting labels on what men and women have to be, but I just think that there's a certain strength that you should have as a man that you got fucking testosterone. Use it, bitch. Like, I don't know. That's a short of it. Like, nigga, I don't got that testosterone. That shit's supposed to make you not act like this estrogen in me.
Right.
And that's all I know. No labels aside.
But do you think that kind of comes with because of like, so like your presence, like in everything that I was doing, that I watched with you, even like from the podcast, and like you are unfiltered. You don't hold your tongue, but like you have a boss era, like not era, or like when you were around, like when you were around, like, so it's like, do you think that is because like, so dudes, it's hard for them to like look, like you said, you're still a woman, but they don't look at you like that because they're like, oh no, she competition because you own your shit. I feel like niggas can't pull the wool over your eyes, and they're probably like hesitant to, to try you.
Right. I mean, well, which part do I address? Okay, so niggas, this how they be. It's like they either see me as competition and then in that right treat me, then it is fair game. It's like, you're not a girl, you're not nothing, this and that. Or it's like, I want to fuck you, but I also still see you as competition. So I'm being like charming and nice to you. But the moment I see you getting a little farther ahead than me, but I'm close to you, I'm going to toxically start filling your brain with shit. Those be the worst.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're still threatened in some way, but you want to fuck me. So you're like, shit, I want to keep her down, which also benefits me fucking her, because then it's like, if she feel bad about herself, then she definitely gonna let me hit. Niggas be trying to knock me off my pedestal, and I'm like, I don't even be trying to put myself on a pedestal. Life has put me on this pedestal, but most men, they try to tear me down in some capacity, and I'd be like, damn, I expect this from the women, and women be like, yes, sis, boss, bitch. I mean, I've had my share of, problems with women too, but not
like that.
Backhanded, manipulative. Yeah, where you be like,
hey, nigga sneaky, man.
Yeah, you be like, if a bitch don't fuck with you, you normally can tell because they, stank face, like, oh, all right, me and her just ain't gonna vibe like that, whatever. And the most shit, it'd be like, oh, a girl fuck somebody I was dating. Right. So I feel like I'm saying that too much now too. I'm sorry, I don't know y'all audience, but okay.
What's good about this platform is like we created a medium, so where it's like it'd be like the hoodest niggas and the geekiest motherfuckers, and they come together and they talk about some shit like fucking Marvel or comic books, and like, but it'd be funny because like you hear it, so you'll hear like the one geek like who knows all the shit, like, oh, Captain this, and then like, oh yeah, and then the one nigga with the shield, like they're like,
I'll fuck with that shit, yo. I'll fuck with that shit. But, like, oh boy, with that shit.
Yeah. And so that's what our platform is, because like a lot of the times me and my niggas, like when we talk about the shit, it sound like barbershop talk, but it be about geek stuff, but we be knowing it be, like, we know the facts, so it's like we can exist in both realms. Like I always tell people, like there's certain people in the industry already that's kind of like that, like the What's Goods and Patrick Clouds and like them, like where it's like, oh, like they know this geek shit, but they actually cool as fuck too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't tell Wes he cool. Don't hype that nigga. Don't hype that nigga. Wes, if you watching this, you the bad kind of geek. No, I'm kidding. But no, I feel you. Did you think growing up, like, because that's what I feel like because of the internet, we didn't see a lot of other people who were like us if you were one of the only you in that community.
Yeah.
So I feel like whether you're a nerd or whether you're into different types of music or art or this or that or whatever, you find online people who have common interests as you. Did you like when you were little think you were like the only Black person into this shit?
Yeah, no,
Or did you?
for the most part, like I said, like you'll find your few, but like yeah, for the most part, I was like, damn, like like you had to hide certain shit. You gotta hide certain shit. Like yeah, I kind of fuck with anime, but like my niggas ain't gonna like you know what I'm saying. Like for the longest, you can't talk about it. I'm like, damn, I just watched this dope ass episode, but I can't go to Lil Ray Ray and them like, hey, my nigga, did you see? Like, cause they don't get it. They like and,
right
and that meme, I don't know if you ever seen that meme, but there's this meme. It's like every time you try to get somebody into anime, it's the worst scene. Like when they watch it, you like, hey yo, check out this episode or check out this anime. And they watch it and it's like just nothing but titties and like you're like, no, this ain't what the anime about. But then now your niggas looking at you like, fam, like what you on, bro? Like
right.
It's a whole thing.
That is so true because my sister and my brother, they're both into anime and they tried to show me, and I'm like, this is just a lot of blood. I'm like,
it's like the worst.
He was like, well, I mean, they have other ones. I'm like,
it put you off. You're like, I don't know.
So he's a demon slayer, or yeah. Well, he had to kill his mom because she's the one who gave birth to him. I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm tapped out. But I can see how people like that, and I like the fact that I've seen more Black people getting into anime and the geek shit and even gaming. Because let me tell you, there's hella money in gaming. There's so much money in gaming, and talking from the producer aspect of it, when we first got into it, they told us straight up like it was mainly Asian and white people, and that was the demo of gaming, and they got to eat off of all of that money. So now to see. Every time I see a Black person who's promoting their Twitch, I'll be like, get that fucking money. Get that fucking, even though it's not like, oh, it's just like YouTube. Like, nigga's not a guarantee. You got to put the work in. But it's like, at least you're stepping into a world that really, it wasn't a lot of Black people dominating and getting money from that before. But, we need to make money everywhere.
Damn, I put it in the same sense as when the Serena Williams sisters, the Williams sisters, when they took over tennis, it was like you didn't see Black people in tennis. Tiger Woods took over golf. You ain't see Black people in golf. Like there's that lane. Like, but once we do it, we make shit cool as shit. Because once like it was plenty hood. Like I think it was Schoolboy Q. He was like he's gonna be in the next like golf game. Like him, and but it's like now Schoolboy Q is a nigga of all niggas, so it's just like you see him, but he fuck with golf. He like, no, I'm good at that shit. So it's just like that's the same thing. I'm like, fam, when we came up with this platform, I'm like, bruh, like we gonna be that one where people are like, yo, I want to be like Geeks set, because like our logo is like the name is based off of Dipset. You know what I'm saying? Same similar logo, just with the geek shit and everything instead of the money in it. Got the controllers in the hand, so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It still got that aspect. Like I said, we blend hip hop culture and geek culture together and stuff. So have you? All right, cliche question number 2. Have you ever fought with a geeky nigga? Like somebody that's into that shit?
Into like super into shit. I mean,
they like super into it. Like they anime, they go to the conventions, they video gaming.
Nah, like everybody who I've talked to plays video games, and like one dude was kind of into comic books a little bit, but he was more so into like the Marvel movies. Yeah, he didn't own no. I'm like, if you don't own comic books and you don't just now, you're not really into that shit. You just like Marvel movies, so don't say you're into comic books and superheroes. Like, nigga, you watch whatever. So no, but I wouldn't be opposed to that. I love people who have hobbies, and that's a hobby that don't really involve like fucking a bitch or like being around hoes. It's like that's a great hobby. Go ahead. You want to dress up in a little costume shit, go to your shit. What do you dress up as? Okay, whatever.
But see, if you do, y'all gonna have like there's plenty couple cosplays. So meaning that you're gonna have to invest with it. Like he gonna want you to dress up as somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go. Yeah. I would definitely go. I want to go to Comic-Con. I like people who are into shit. Like. Because I love interviewing, I love asking questions. As you can see now, because I like asking questions too.
I know you do.
So
I want to let you know, I was low key a little bit intimidated coming to this. I'm like, damn, she does this. I'm like, all right, let me make sure I'm on point some, because I'm like, she gonna be like.
No, you just really, Norm, you made me comfortable. I forgot we was doing the interview. I felt like we was talking, so that's good.
Well,
but
that's why I do my research, because like I told you, like I tried to stray away from the cliche, but like I was like, well, this one I'm gonna do a little bit, but like I want to really give people a platform to talk about certain things that they don't normally talk about when they're on their promo run, you know. So it's like it's stuff like that, you know. So yeah.
Well, you're hitting a good lane of it for sure. I feel like I'm trying to think of what would be the bad part of dating somebody who was a nerd. Like honestly, I'm kind of antisocial. Like I don't really kick it with everybody like that. I know everybody, but I'm not the let's go kick it type of person. I like my group of friends, but so if he was you're like, I really might need to date a nerd. Like I'm this is why none of my relationships been working out. Like what the fuck? Oh, maybe my mouth. I don't know. No, they probably would be like cool. Like
no, yeah, because
smart.
You know what? Because you would be a great person for them. Like when they online playing and they need somebody to talk shit for them. Like you would be a person, like a great ad-lib person. Like yeah, fuck that nigga up. Like
yeah. Have them really scared. Damn.
Question. So like this is just just regular watching content. And where I kind of agree with you, but then I still want to get more like, so you had a hot take on Will Smith. And so, but like, here's where I agree with you. So like, I'm saving this hot take for like, if I ever get a chance to bless that type of platform where I can give my unpopular opinion. I 100% believe that Jamie Foxx is a better actor than Will Smith, and it's not even close. Like it's not close. And like because like my justification of it is like I feel like every role that Will Smith has played, Jamie Foxx could do. Every role that Jamie Foxx has played, Will Smith could not.
And that's the best way that you could put it. And I think that Will Smith would agree with you. I don't think that he would be like, no, I'm not this, I'm not that. I don't think Will Smith, because he chooses roles that are pretty, like, require small acting skills. Yeah. You know? Well, no, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was a good one. So, like, it's not like he doesn't have any good movies. Like, he has a whole bunch of dope movies.
He has great movies.
Yeah, he has great movies. He has great movies. But I just feel like when it comes to that acting range, the one flaw that I always have with Will Smith is when I'm watching a Will Smith movie, it's just this movie with Will Smith. So like when I'm watching Suicide Squad, it's like, oh, it's a assassin who's Will Smith. When I'm watching fucking, Hancock, oh, it's a superhero who's Will Smith. Like it's hard to remove Will Smith from it.
Right.
Where Jamie Foxx, like there's certain characters, like I just get embodied in it, like, oh no, this is that character. This is not Jamie Foxx.
And Jamie Foxx is just like, he's a big name that we have like other pictures of him in our mind that would be hard to shake as well. So it's not like, it's like, well, Will Smith was a Fresh Prince, that's why we can't see him be this or see him be that. It's like, no, but people were like, oh my God, like why would you ever say that? But I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I mean, because it is one of those things, like if Will Smith ever was to see us talking about this, right, and it was like, I don't know, would I feel bad? Like, not really, no. I wouldn't feel bad because it'd be like, we're not saying like, he's a shitty person, fuck Will Smith, all of his movies was garbage. It's just like, no. I'm sorry that nobody had told you this truth before. And
that's probably what it is, I
think you think he's real with himself enough to know, like, I mean, I'm okay at acting, but it's mainly like the movies and the budgets I get.
You know what? At early on, I probably would have said no, but now, and this is a testament to social media in general. So one thing, or even with you, so like when we watch content, we just watch content. We watch what you guys put out, right? So whatever you wrote, whatever you act in, things like that. When you get the chance to see like interviews or Zooming with the homies and stuff like that, like then you get a chance to see people's personality. So you was just recently on Zooming with the homies, and I was like, yo, I didn't even know your personality was the way it was. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like it seemed like you had a very, very like just super professional personality. Like, I was like right. So then when I got in those homies, I'm like, oh shit, I can kick it with Cynthia. Like she the homie. Like, and I thought that was dope. So same thing with Will. Like before he got on social media, it was like this mysteriousness. You like, okay, he's just an actor. Yeah, he got personality, but like you probably think he's feeling himself. But as you see all the stuff that's been coming out on social media, you're like, oh, you know what? He does have a levelness to him that now I can see him taking that type of criticism and not being butthurt over it, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, because I think he was even joking with somebody in the comments right after the whole entanglement thing had happened.
Yeah.
And that's like, so I come across really professional. That's really good to know.
Yeah,
like,
that's
know.
yeah. If you, because cause when you look, like I told you, you have your hosting side and you have your camera side, and even though like you know, even when you're talent on camera and you're doing the stuff that you work, like it's like I can tell like okay, she's acting. The hosting,
right?
Like, it's like you don't never strike me as somebody who don't know what they're doing with the hosting. Like there's certain hosts that you'll watch, you're like, man, they were kind of horrible in this interview. Like I've seen you with a plethora of from white to black actors and actresses and musicians, and like that level of professionalism and that way that you approach it. So it's like coming off right off the rip and just like, you know, like when if I'm taking it face value of that, I was like, okay, that's how probably I would approach you. You know what I'm saying? Like even finding out that, you know what I'm saying, like that you smoke, you know what I'm saying, stuff like it's just like those little tidbits that like,
who told you?
Like, listen, I did my research, you know. I told you, I heard you, you know what I'm saying? Indica's your choice. Like I got it. I know. I be paying attention.
Right.
But like that, so that was a cliche question number 3, kind of get into relationship type of stuff. You have said that like, you know, like you are an alpha in business, but you like to be submissive in the relationship. But I felt like that's probably like because you're alpha in business and that's what most people see. I'm assuming that when most guys approach you, it's kind of like awkward because they don't know how to approach you. They don't know that submissive side. So they're like, okay, she's this businesswoman. So I gotta put on a little bit of flex, make sure she knows that I'm about my business. Like it's probably that a lot, right?
It is that. And then that's like, to me, that's not like real alpha energy. Like, there was one guy I was talking to, and he was like, yeah, you know, I'm reading these books on how to be an alpha male. And I'm like, I don't think you can teach yourself how to be an alpha male. You can teach yourself how to act like an alpha male, but you're not going to ever be one, because when you come into an alpha female, if we get into a real relationship or we get into any type of anything where it's let's go, where, you know, that all them books you read is not gonna, it's not, it ain't gonna be
no book
life.
can teach you this, bro.
Yeah, either you with the shits or you're not.
Right.
To me, I'm just very much with it, and so real alpha males, they don't have to come at me like that. They really know how to maneuver. They're really good with words. They know that the most important thing, and for anybody watching, if you need a tip how to deal with alpha females, communication is very important, because we are bosses and we are always liking to be in control of our environment. So we got to, you know, see you at the door. What are you coming with? What is this? What's going on? Communicate. Let us know what's going on so we can, you know, we got to put our guard down a little bit. So overly communicate to alpha females. And I feel like that's what alpha males know how to do. But males who aren't real alpha males, that I ain't got to spend because they think they're tough. But it's like, nah, if you're a real alpha male, your ultimate goal is to really be in control of the situation, have the woman, you know, where she wants to be and where you want her to be. So it's just like, I don't know if I'm making sense to y'all or not. But
it makes sense. It makes sense. Because like, with pretty much communication is like alpha female in general, like time is everything. Like you ain't got time to waste no time. And in fact, alpha in general, you're alpha, you don't got time to waste, right? So like where that communication comes from, if there's 2 alphas, you got to know. Both of y'all is like we ain't got time to waste. So what it is, what we doing, where we at, where we going, like what's the plan? So it's like that's where that communication and what you're saying needs to be had, because it's like, all right, you know, I'm an alpha, like so either you tell me this or I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go. But then if I gotta tell you how it goes all the time, like you said, you're still a woman, so you're like, if you feel that you got to tell the guy all the time, you're not going to want that, because you're like, nah, I still want to be submissive. I still want to have that moment. So I'm going to need you to take control. And if you can't do that, then we going to have to dead this.
Dead it, you know, and that's what happened with my last shit. It's like we had to dead it, you know. You're like, oh, you know, you won't be submissive. It's like, no, I'm actually very submissive, but like I don't follow people who are lost.
Yeah.
I don't. And that's for anybody in a relationship or anything, and the man wants to lead, then yes, you should. It's not that your woman, trust me, every woman wants to follow her man. So if you feel like your woman is not following you, it is because you are lost, sir. Where the fuck? I'm not going in this cave and you don't got no directions or no plan where to get out. Have you heard that there's treasure in here? Or are you just fucking running through the Middle East? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing in life? So yeah, I'm an alpha female. I love to be submissive to a man who knows what the fuck he's actually doing, and you ain't about to take me down with you.
Right. Like, you ain't about to, I can jump off this sinking boat. I don't gotta be with you on that one.
Yeah, I followed my man, right or die. No. Bye.
All right. Last cliche question. When you're doing your content creation, what are you like? Where do you draw your inspiration from? Like, I guess, because you put out a lot of content and it's a plethora of conversations and things that happen. So I guess where are you pulling that from?
Oh, it depends on which avenue that it is, but most of the times it just comes with me just sitting in my brain and being like you got to treat your brain like it's a playground, and I just sit with my thoughts, and I'll be like, if some shit makes me laugh, then I'll keep like going further and digging in my brain like, oh, that's a funny idea, you know. Or sometimes it's really random. It's just how I filter and digest the world. Like, some people see the world in music lyrics, you know, some people see the world in paintings or in fashion designs. Like, I see it in content and, you know, mostly comedic shit. Like, that's how I digest most of my information. It comes from me having to have some epiphany of life of like, damn, this is really why girls are mad about this. Or damn, really, this is guys' problem. That's why it is. Or this is, if you're working at this store and you did that, I would never. Like, it's just my epiphanies in life that I have that make me laugh. And I'm like, let me do some shit with this. You know,
it's super relatable, and I think that's why people fuck with your videos so tough, because it's like, this is like, you know, because most of your videos it starts with an idea and it stems into a conversation. Like, the flow of it is always like a conversation or a back and forth or some type of perspective, right? And I think that is what makes your videos dope, because it leaves people thinking, or starts a conversation. Like, you can literally throw in one of your videos and then watch the video and get, you know, you and whoever you do the video with, you know, perspective on it. But it can lead to another a 30-minute conversation off camera with other people. Like, so wait, what do you think about that? Like, you know, and I think that's what makes it so relatable and dope.
Yeah, that's dope. Like, for longer sketches that aren't just like, you know, quick like Instagram stuff, for longer sketches, I definitely always try to have a female's perspective for stuff and try to show the world something like, this is how we feel about it and we're not crazy. So I know that I can communicate this in a way to make people understand females better, and or make them laugh and be like, damn, y'all, that's funny as shit. But I try to have a bigger message of some type of female empowerment. Like, even for I Still Smash, I don't know if you've seen that sketch, but everybody talking about like, oh, this girl, this man, like, oh, I still smash this. And it was just like really telling girls like, look, you be so worried about yourself. Guys will fuck you. You know, I gotta stop saying that word. Make me stop saying it. Guys
we want unfiltered Cynthia on this platform.
Guys will fuck you. So, you know, I know you be sad, and girls, we be so worried about it a lot of times, like this, and how you feel about that, or if you gain weight, or if you look like this, or if this ain't done, or get out of here, this, you know. It's like, at the end of the day, bitch, don't feel too bad about it, because it's somebody who will fuck you at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So are you more so wanting
to somebody right now? What?
Wait, no, what?
No, I'm kidding.
No, I was gonna say, are you more so wanting to do like just like sketch comedy or writing long form? Like, I guess where are you working towards? I know, like I said, with the production company, but like, where would you like to call home? Like, you know, I like to do this as my career moving forward.
Movies.
Yeah,
movies. Sitcoms are cool. There's a certain type of sitcom that I'm like, I have an idea in my mind that we did something for and I want to keep doing with. But for the most part, with sitcoms, I don't really want to play the same character. I don't really want to write the same characters for 9 years. Like, I got too many ideas, so I can't just keep being like, and today Rachel said this. Like, oh, fuck Rachel. We've been talking about Rachel for 9 seasons. Fuck Rachel. I don't have the brain capacity for that. I love new shit.
Yeah.
So movies to me is the best way of like, you get all the meat off the bone. You get to just get the whole idea out and it's a movie. And I hate even shows where it's like that should have been a fucking movie. Because I remember the show Lost. It's like, I don't want to watch them for 8 seasons trying to get off an island. Like, that could have been a bomb ass movie. And there's some shows where you just want to see the end of it. I don't want to sit here for 10 seasons of this shit. So I just want to make movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I want to write some shit too, but movies.
Right. Well, here's what I'm asking. When you get your first Hollywood premiere movie, just make sure you send 4 tickets to Geek Set. We're gonna come out, we'll cover it and everything. Make sure that we can come and support you.
You know it.
Yeah, we definitely got it. All right. So what we do, we got a couple of segments that we do when we end out. We do 2 top 5s. I usually do one within your realm, and then I'll do one that's kind of just like off topic one that I thought of, and then a recommendation for our listeners. So we try to get to. So first top 5 I want to get. I think that this one would be a pretty dope because you work with a lot of people. Top 5 people that you have worked with on content. I don't know if that's a good laugh or a bad laugh.
That's so like, because I'm a pick.
What?
How am I gonna pick? I feel like that's fucked up.
That's
like,
what
shit.
I do that on purpose. I always get one that's gonna make somebody say, "Oh, you couldn't mention me."
No,
it doesn't have to be in order. Just 5 people though.
5 people.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I've made content with, or
that you made content with.
That was my favorite to work with, or that was my favorite sketches, or just what?
Overall,
just
overall people.
Okay, so I gotta say, so the 2 girls, the 2 girls that I work with the most right now, Precious Hall, Kamira White. They do On These Hoes. I produce their podcast. We do we used to do sketches, but we kind of stopped because obviously everything's going on. But yeah, so those are my top 2 females that are in there. Guys, I would say I would say, I'm trying to think. Oh, I definitely will put.
This is gold.
It shouldn't be that hard. Okay. Because I just don't want to say nobody's names.
That's why
Dylon. No. Okay.
That's why I removed the top 5. Just 5 people that you like to work with.
Okay, 5 people that I like that I Well, no, for my content that I always enjoy working with, I enjoy.
You ain't gonna get this out. I feel like we just gotta leave it at the 2 then.
Oh shit. Okay, no, here we go. I'll just say like who I've most been known for doing sketches with. So let's see. Everybody see my sketches with Snow, probably. Yep. So shout out to him. That was always dope. We had like a whole era of like really good relationship sketches that I feel like kind of a lot of people watched and liked. Then another person was Rito. I like working with Rito. I think he's really funny. Our sketch ideas are always really off the wall. Yeah. So I really like that. And then the other person, who else has really made me like, and then I'm trying to think, who else? You fill in the last person. You said Rome too. I like working with Rome.
Okay, yeah.
I'll put Rome in there.
That's a dope list. That's a dope list. Like I said. What do you want to say?
Nothing at all. We made it through. I was like, bitch.
We made it through.
I felt like I was on the stand and I was about to keep going. Like,
yeah, we made it through. We made it through. we trucked through it, but we got there.
Right.
So with you writing, and obviously you like I said, there had to be some inspiration that came from there. Who are some top 5 writers or just people that you know that are writers that you like, oh, you know what? I like how they do shit.
Ooh. 5 writers?
or even directors, or just because you pretty much I know you want to be behind the scenes, so
right.
Just trying to get.
I would definitely put Wes. We talked about what's good. He's like my favorite director. He shot a couple of my web series, and he's helped me learn so much behind the scenes. Whenever I have a question, that's who I call. I'll be like, yo, why does the wide shot look like this and then the close up look like this? Like, that's who I call. So shout out to him. And then a writer, I don't know if you guys know Yasser Lester. If you don't, look him up. Yassir Lester, Lester. He's written a lot of shit, and I just personally know him, because he does stand up and stuff too. But he's hilarious. He's one of the funniest people that I've ever met, because he reminds me of this podcast a lot. Like, he's really into like a lot of geeky shit and nerd shit and stuff, but he's also from like Georgia, like right by Atlanta. Like, he also listens to hood, but just hood shit. Like, he's such a dynamic of it. So he's written on like Black Monday. He's on Duncanville. On Fox. He's done a lot of stuff. So for writing, I think he's good. I got to put myself in there. I don't know if I can, but I'm like, I just don't think nobody.
Definitely.
When I people read other people's shit, I just be like, I can punch up anything and make it better. So
yeah, that's dope.
I would put myself in there. The other person I would put Tonio Skits. That's somebody that I work with a lot. He has a lot of good ideas, and he always is bringing me on to help with his projects that he's pitching or writing and stuff. So we're working on some dope shit. So I would put him in there. He has a really good creative mind, past just like what we see on Instagram. And then the last person, Jordan Peele.
Wow, I fuck with that. Have you been watching Lovecraft? Or that's too much? I
haven't.
That's it's a weird one. If you like supernatural type shit, and
where is that even on? I haven't even heard of that.
It's on HBO. It's called Lovecraft Country. It has Journey Smollett on there. She's on there. It's pretty dope. It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like it's these black people, and like it's like witches, but then it's also kind of like fucking vampire shit. Like, it's weird, but it's dope. But it's Jordan Peele and damn, why can't I think of his name? J.J. Abrams, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams collabed on it. I don't know. We literally just talked about it yesterday, and I just had a blank just that fast. But it's them two together, but it's a dope ass show.
I can see how that whole that weird world, that's very J.J. Abrams-ish to me. So damn, that's kind of a really good collab though. What the fuck? I need to step my collab. Like, I need to think outside the box with my collabs. That's, that's what I've been doing. We always work with people who are expected to be like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck? Why are you with Rosie O'Donnell? Bitch, we working on something. Shh, no.
Hey, sometimes those random collabs, turn out to be super dope. Cause, the whole Snoop and Martha Stewart shit, no matter what.
Right.
That is a match made in heaven all the time. And then even just from other stuff, anytime that Kevin Hart got on with Conan, everything that Kevin and Conan did was gold. It was so sometimes those random mashups would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to, do you now I gotta ask you, who would you mash up with? Who do you think would be a dope mashup with you?
That would be so unexpected.
Yeah.
Then I guess it would have to be not somebody in common. Because even if it was a Tina Fey or Amy Poehler, it's just they're white. That's why it's unexpected. Right. They're still funny, and you guys are females. Right. So who the fuck? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I really genuinely don't know. I don't know. Do you have somebody in mind? Who do you think?
You know what? I don't know, because here's what I'm thinking will be a dope, kind of one of those, the Curb Your Enthusiasm type show. I can see you being a part of something like that.
Right.
With somebody. I don't know. I don't have anybody.
That's not as different as M. Night Shyamalan. You know what I mean? That's what the fuck? But that's so their thing, it's a thing of this. That's what it is. You got to have, it's a random ass collab. It's two totally different worlds, but that common thread. Because even with Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, their common thread was Twitter joking and being they both felons. And
you got to have a common thread.
That just somehow made their common thread. Twitter made that shit happen. So.
All right, so let's get into recommendations. So it could be either something you're watching, something you're reading, something that you think our viewers should listen to. Like, it could be anything. What would you like to give our viewers, listeners, a recommendation?
I'm trying to think. These are hard questions because I'm like, I don't just be having shit up like, oh, because I listen to audiobooks. Let me just recommend this book that I just got because so the CEO of All Deaf recommended this book to me.
Okay.
And so that's technically, my boss because I'm producing shows for them. So Cedric, I know you're probably not watching this either, but I am on page 8, and that's,
I mean, listen, you can send them the episode like, hey man, I did this dope ass podcast. You might want to check it out. Y'all might want to do something, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, for real, you really might want to do something on the gaming channel. They're building all the different channels now. This will probably be really dope on their gaming channel. Actually,
hey, listen, sure. Right now, like I said, we're just independently running. We had some good wins. Earwolf highlighted us as a Black Voices. Apple Podcast highlighted us during Black History Month as Black Voices. So we have certain moments in that we're winning. But like I said, we're definitely just trying to, continue to push up, trying to, like this podcast thing that we've been doing in these interviews, they've been dope. But like I said, we're just rocking independently. We just built this new studio, got this whole new set. And so it's like, we're just rocking until situations get better and better and better and everything. So, all right. So
that's dope.
How can people find you for those who don't know how to find you if they haven't already?
You guys can find me at Cynthia Luciette, Cynthia Luciette on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Except
you just type
Twitter.
in my name.
You shut down
Except your Twitter. I said fuck that.
Operation Shutdown mode.
I fuck that. Yeah. They took away Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. I'm like, I don't even need to tweet. Fuck that. Like for Twitter, it's a privilege for y'all to even hear what I'm thinking at 7:38 in the morning. Not just me specifically. I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's a privilege for anybody to share their thoughts with anybody, and with social media, we just so openly share all of our content, all of our ideas, all of our everything. That's why I've slowed up on just putting everything out and being like, let me put it out on certain channels, certain avenues, certain places where I can make my money back, So yeah, fuck Twitter, but everywhere else.
All right. Well, this has been 101 with Deuces, man. I have been Deuces. This has been the amazing Cynthia Luciette, man, and we are out.
You like that video? Man, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it. We got so many more videos on our page, so make sure you check them out over here. Hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that way you can always be notified anytime we release a new video. You already know how Geeks get down. We got so much coming for y'all, man. Check it out. Stay in tune.
There was a time where hip-hop culture and geek culture were at odds.